كل من قرأ الفاتحة مع الصلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله كما هو أهله. الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وطبيب قلوبنا شفيع ذنوبنا سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الغر الميامين المنتجبين المكرمين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
رحمة الله على أحبابهم وأصحابهم وشيعتهم ومحبيهم أجمعين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم وقاتليهم وظالميهم من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الرحمن في كتاب الفرقان وقوله الحق وهو أصدق الصادقين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وما أتاكم الرسول فخذوه وما نهاكم عنه فانتهوا. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إني تارك فيكم الثقلين كتاب الله وعترتي أهل بيتي ما إن تمسكتم بهما لن تضلوا بعدي أبدا. صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You must be aware of the topic for tonight, as it has already been announced, and all the topics are available on Dar-ul-Hikmah's website. Tonight's topic is going to be Nehjul Balagha. Nehj means path, and Balagha means the eloquence. Alhamdulillah, it's the great blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the foundation of Maktab-e Ahl Bayt is based on knowledge. And that's what it's been 1400 years that we've been facing animosity. Everyone is against us because our religion, our school of thought, our path is based on knowledge, reasoning, logic. And we have a great treasure of knowledge, and our scholars have done a great job on that. If you Ba'da's Quran, if you look at like which book is there Ba'da's Quran, a Sunni alim, Ibn Abul Hadid Mu'tazili, he says that I have looked around and he's the one who has written 20 volumes, the explanation of Nehjul Balagha. 20 volumes, just the sharha of Nehjul Balagha, Sunni Alibidin in the 7th Hijrah. He has written in the 7th Hijrah, and after reading all that and after doing all the explanation, he came to this point. He said that Ba'da's Quran that I have concluded when I read the book Nehjul Balagha and I explained that and I did sharha, he said this kalam tahta kalamil khaliq wa fawqa kalamul bashar, this kalam is underneath the kalam of Allah, which is Quran, and it is above all other kalam, whoever, the kalams are there. So this is only underneath the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, tahta kalam al-Khaliq wa fawqa kalam al-Bashar. Ibn Abul Hadid al-Mu'tazili, he says that Nehjul Balagha is at such a peak and such the peak of eloquence that there's no other kalam besides the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the hadith of Rasulullah, because Maulana Ali himself has said, Ana abdun min abid Muhammad. He already said that I'm the one that I have been taught by Rasulullah. And the first day that Rasulullah, when he went to Kaaba to receive Amir al-Mu'mineen after he was born, Rasulullah got Amir al-Mu'mineen over his hand and he put his tongue in the mouth of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and Maulana Ali used to say, Zakkani Rasulullah zakkan zakka. The day that the Holy Prophet came and received me from Kaaba, so he gave me the first food that he gave me for, it was his tongue, he put it in my mouth. Zakkani Rasulullah zakkan zakka. I got all the food, and just like that, like a bird feeds a baby bird, and when the bird is feeding a baby bird, whatever is in the mouth of a mama bird, she does not hold anything back. She gives whatever she has into the mouth of a baby. So Ali ibn Abi Talib said, Zakkani Rasulullah zakkan zakka. The day the Holy Prophet came into Kaaba and he got me over his hands and he gave me his tongue, he gave me all the knowledge that he had. The knowledge of prophethood was transferred into Imamah.
Muhammad Ali Muhammad Salwan.
And that was the miracle, and it's even miracle today. Like no one can bring just one ayah, just like Quran, and that's what at the time of all those mushrikeen and kuffar, they were asked that if you are truthful, just bring one surah, and if you cannot bring one surah, just bring one ayah as compared to Quran. But they were speechless. They had no answer to that, and they had to say, Ma hadha kalamul bashar. We cannot bring even just one verse, against the holy book of Quran, because it's not a kalam of a human being. So Quran is miracle. Quran is a living miracle from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So do the book of Nehjul Balagha, Amir al-Mu'mineen's kalam, and the book of Amir al-Mu'mineen. So many people even today, they dispute it and they say that no, it is not kalam of Amir al-Mu'mineen. It is not the sayings of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And as we all know that Nehjul Balagha has three parts. There are three sections in Nehjul Balagha. Number one, there are sermons of Amir al-Mu'mineen that Sayyid Razi has gathered them. It's not that Sayyid Razi, wrote a book Nehjul Balagha, or it's not that Amir al-Mu'mineen himself wrote a book Nehjul Balagha like Sahifa Sajjadiyya or Risalatul-Hukuk. These are books related to Imam Ali Zainul Abidin alayhi salatu wassalam. So these are actually books, Sahifa Sajjadiyya, Risalatul-Hukuk, the booklet and the book. Actually these are written by Imam Ali Zainul Abidin. But Nehjul Balagha it's like basically collected from different parts, the sermons of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the letters of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and the sayings, the kalamat-e-qisas, and Sayyid Razi gathered them, he collected them, and he compiled them in a book in the 4th Hijrah. So Sayyid Razi, basically it's again a miracle, and the way things happen sometimes, when we look into it, there's always a reason behind it. Sayyid Razi was a student of one of a great scholar, Sheikh Mufid, who is buried in Kadman. You must have seen it and you have done ziyarah. One of the greatest scholars in Shia history. One night he was asleep and he saw a dream that Lady Fatima Zahra salamullahi alayha. Sheikh Mufid saw a dream that Bibi comes and she has 2 children with her, and she comes to Sheikh Mufid and she says, Sheikh, you have to teach these 2 children. These are my children, and I brought them here for you to teach them. So he got up in the morning, and the way he had seen a dream that Lady Fatima came with 2 children. A lady from Baghdad, she came to Sheikh Mufid with 2 children, and similarly, like the way he has seen a dream, she said that, Sheikh, these are my children and I want you to teach them. So finally he understood. At the same time he said, these are 2 children that the lady, got them, so I have to. So Sheikh Mufid put some extra work in them. Sheikh Mufid worked hard, so those 2 children became Sayyid Razi and Murtaza Alam al-Huda. Both of these brothers, Sayyid Murtaza was older and Sayyid Razi was younger. So both of these were students of Sheikh Mufid, and Sheikh Mufid was a student of Sheikh Sadduq. Sheikh Sadduq, who was born in Qom, and he is buried in Ray. If you have gone there in Iran, and you must have done ziyarat also. So Sheikh Sadduq, then Sheikh Mufid, and Sheikh Mufid had these 2 students, Murtaza Alam al-Huda and Sayyid Razi, and then Murtaza Alam al-Huda had a student named Sheikh Tusi. Sheikh Tusi, if you have done ziyarah in the Haram of Amir al-Mu'mineen, there's a door going towards the graveyard in the back, Wadi al-Salam, and that door is called Babe Tusi. So Sheikh Tusi was a student of Sayyid Murtaza. So Sayyid Razi, when he was a student of Sheikh Mufid, he was much more interested in poetry. He was much more interested in literature. He was much more interested in adab, even though he was faqih, even though he had his specialization in fiqh and other knowledges, but he was much more interested in poetry. So that was the reason that he started this job. It was a great task to collect all the sermons of Amir al-Mu'mineen, all the sayings, all the kalam. Since he was a poet himself, Sayyid Razi Sharif, he was a poet himself, and that was the reason that it attracted Sayyid Razi to do this great job. So Sayyid Razi took a great responsibility to do that. And as you all know, that this Nehjul Balagha has 3 parts. Number 1, it's sermons, and in different volumes there are 240, some has 241, some have 245 sermons in that. The second part is the letters of Amir al-Mu'mineen that he had written to different people. He had written to his opponents, he had written to his governors, he had written to different people, and one letter that it is in their Nehjul Balagha, that letter has been used by United Nations. The letter that Amir al-Mu'mineen had written to Malik Ashtar, that letter is there in Nehjul Balagha, and United Nations have used that letter, and the whole world, they put that letter for them as a guidance, as a light, and they told them that you have to follow this sayings of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the way he talked to one of his governor, Malik Ashtar, because when he was appointed as a governor and he was sent to Egypt, Amir al-Mu'mineen wrote him a letter, and it's a beautiful letter. It's again a peak of eloquence. If you get a chance, just read that, the letter of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And then there are other letters. The letter that Amir al-Mu'mineen wrote to Uthman ibn Hunayf, that letter is also there. Uthman ibn Hunayf was also a governor, and one day Amir al-Mu'mineen found out that someone in the community, they invited Uthman ibn Hunayf to their home, since he was a governor of Amir al-Mu'mineen. So people have respect, people, when an alim is visiting some community, people show their hospitality and they invite alim. Similarly, when he was there, so someone invited him, and they had beautiful menu, mashallah, a variety of dishes, a variety of food. So Amir al-Mu'mineen found out that Uthman ibn Hunayf went to someone's house in that town that he is a governor, and he was served with a variety of food, different kind of dishes. So soon Amir al-Mu'mineen found out, he wrote a letter, and that letter is again available in Nehjul Balagha. And Amir al-Mu'mineen wrote a letter and asked explanation that, "Oh Uthman ibn Hunayf, I thought that you were representing the poor people in that community. So if you were a governor of the people, you were, what does the governor mean? The governor means a servant. The one who has power is a servant. It's not that the one who has a power, feels that he or she is a king. And unfortunately, that's what the problem nowadays is. If we get a little bit of power, we think that there is no one like us, if someone becomes a mayor in the town, if someone becomes a governor in the state, or someone becomes a president, that's like something different. If someone becomes something in our community, if someone becomes something in our center, sometimes we think that, we have been given this opportunity, so we, have this status. Sometimes we feel that we are better than others. It's not that. When we have been obligated with a responsibility, it means that we have been chosen to serve the community. We are the servants of the community. We are the one who are supposed to deliver. We are the one who are supposed to give back to the community. So when we have a responsibility, when we have a status, when we have a designation, it means that we have to show more humility. It means that we have show more, we have to try to be more humble. It's not that if I am a president of a center or if I'm a resident alim in a center, so I think that since I am a resident alim, I'm better than others. No. And we are not to judge others. Sometimes, brothers and sisters, we go a wrong way. Sometimes we think that I'm better than others. For example, being a scholar, let me give you my own example. Sometimes if I think that I'm better than others, I have more knowledge, I worship a lot, I do this, I do that. If I think that I'm better than others, the downfall starts right there. The downfall starts right there. Because Hazrat Musa, one day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I didn't want to go into this, this side, but it just came up. One day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Prophet Musa that, Musa, just bring someone. When you come to me on the mountain of Tur, when you come and talk to me, bring someone that you think that you are better than him. Anyone in the community, just bring him with you that you think that you are better than him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave some time to Prophet Musa, and Prophet Musa started thinking that who lives in this community that I am better than him. He started looking around, and one day he just thought before he went to Kohinoor, he said, if I take someone that I feel that I am better than him, how do I know that I am better than him? Maybe, apparently, I think that I'm better than him, but maybe behind the door he worships a lot to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe behind the door he is better than me. So how do I judge other person? How do I feel that I'm better than him? So Prophet Musa just went by himself. He went alone to Kohinoor, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him, "Oh Musa, did you bring someone that you think that you are better than him?" So Prophet Musa replied, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no, I did not bring anyone because I couldn't decide. I couldn't find out. I couldn't figure out a person that I'm better than him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replied and told Musa that, "Oh Musa, if you would have brought a person with you and you would have told me that you are better than him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Musa, I could have taken the prophethood back from you just because of this thing that you think you are better than others." If Prophet Musa cannot retain his prophethood just by thinking that he is better than others, who do we are? No, what is our status? What do we think that what is our status? So brother and sister, always we have to think, we have to give other priority over self. Sometimes we see people committing sin. Sometimes we see people, someone just lying, or someone just doing bad stuff, or sometimes someone committing haram, or someone doing haram, and we spread that rumor around. I saw that person drinking haram. I saw that person eating haram. I saw that person watching haram, and then we announce in the whole community. We announce it. We let others know that look at that person, because we have nothing to do. And now, everyone has unlimited package. When there is nothing to do, pick up a phone and start spreading rumors. It's easy, right? And we call it killing of time. No, there is nothing to do. Read Quran. If you want to kill time, read Nehjul Balagha. If you have nothing to do, just sit down and do istighfar. So sometimes we are just committing sin, for nothing. It's not going to benefit. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we look at others as those people committing sins, we saw them committing sin, but did we see them repenting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We saw them drinking haram. But did I see him going on musalla and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh? Did I see him crying for the sin that he had committed and asking Allah for forgiveness? No, because the sin that he had committed was in open, and then istighfar that he had done was behind the door. So I'm a witness for his sin, but I'm not a witness for his forgiveness. So I'm spreading the word around, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already forgiven him. So brothers and sisters, sometimes we look at others and we become judge. No, we have no status. We are not responsible to judge others. It's between them and their Lord. It's between them and their Master. Always look at people positively. What do we do? You leave these garbage cans outside your home once a week, right? Or maybe twice a week. Because the garbage company, the truck comes and they just pick up the garbage. Have you ever experienced that the garbage truck comes, instead of picking up garbage, they pick up other stuff from your home? No, right? They don't do that because they know that this is the waste and they are supposed to take that. Is that the only thing that you have in your house? No. Your house is full of other stuff. Your house is full of valuable stuff. Your house is full of like beautiful things. But they only pick up garbage from there. Why? Because they are garbage collector. They don't pick the good stuff. They only pick the garbage. Brothers and sisters, unfortunately, sometimes we behave like a garbage truck. A person that we look at, he has so much good in it. A person that we see, a person we talk to him, a person we experience, he has so much good. But we only pick up garbage from him. We only take negative side from him. We only take his negativity from him. And we do not see that how much good he has inside. All of us, we have negative points. All of us have shortcomings. All of us, we have so much negative inside. No one is infallible. We all make mistakes. We all commit sins. We all do wrong. And that's what a human being is. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He sometimes loves a person more who thinks that he is doing wrong and he goes to ask for forgiveness, unless that person that he thinks, no, he is a better mu'min and he is a good doer and he does not commit a sin. One day we were in a center and in the holy month of Ramadan, we had to do the amal, and I was explaining, that these are Qadai Umri, the 6 days prayer that we pray during the month of Ramadan. So I was telling, someone came up, he said, Maulana, I have no qada. You pray, I'm not praying because I have no qada. So sometimes we think, that we are better than others. We have no qada. But how do I know the prayers that I have offered are accepted? Who is the one to tell me that the prayers I have offered, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted me? How do I know that the holy month of Ramadan that I spent fasting, all the fasts are accepted? No, we don't know. We can't even see the sincerity, the purity of ourselves. So how can we measure and how can we judge others about their sincerity? Maybe they are more mu'min, maybe they are more believer, maybe they are more sincere towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what do? We see appearance. We see outside, we don't see inside. And that's what we make mistake. Then that's the reason that we set our opinion. And that's why we start judging people depending on their appearance. There's another story of Prophet Musa. He was just passing by one of the valley and he saw someone living in a house. So Prophet Musa just stopped there. That person, he had a donkey and he had a grass in his yard. So Prophet Musa asked him that, why do you have this grass and donkey? So he replied that, I have this one because I'm waiting for Allah to come one day. I'm giving him, this ride. So Allah is going to ride on the donkey, and this grass, the beautiful grass, the donkey of Allah is going to eat. and I'm just waiting for the day. He was sincere in his heart. If it would have been a mufti or a maulana, so he would have declared him kafir, mushrik, and everything that he could have done. And that's what we do in our community. Unfortunately, we give titles to others. How many of us call, alhamdulillah, maybe you don't have in your community, but I'm talking in general. How many we call others ghali? How many of us, we call others mukassir? Unfortunately, alhamdulillah, your community is safe than this. But other communities, you see, a mu'min is doing against a mu'min. A believer of Ali ibn Abi Talib is, going against the follower of Ali ibn Abi Talib. And Mawla says, Hurmatul mu'min afdalu min al-Kaaba. A respect of a mu'min is greater than the house of Allah. So Prophet Musa came and Prophet Musa got angry, he got mad. He said, you are committing shirk. This is guna. You are asking that Allah is going to come with this donkey and the donkey is going to eat, all that grass. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the same time told Musa, oh Musa, tu baraye wasl kardan amadi, na baraye fasl kardan amadi. You came here to join her. You came here to get people close to each other, not to make differences and not to get people apart from each other. I sent you to bring everybody together. But what are you doing? Instead of getting people closer to me, you are getting people away from me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't like that. So sometimes, others, they have more iman. So brothers and sisters, in our communities, if we look at our youngsters, let's think that they are a teenager, a 20 years old, a 25, and I'm supposed 40, 45. He has committed less sins because he's younger than me, he's better than me. My sins are more than him. I have more burden of sins over me. He is younger, he's 20 years old, he's 25 years old, and I'm 45. So I have committed more sins in those extra 20 years. He has committed less sins. If you look at the elder one, if you look at the senior one, think that he is older than me, he is 20 years older than me, he had done more right things than me. I'm 45, he is 65, he has done more hasanat, he has prayed more, he has done more good things. So always think everyone better than us. If we started doing that, brothers and sisters, the society is going to change. And that's what the message of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. That's what Nehjul Balagha is. That's what this kalam of Amir al-Mu'mineen. There is no other kalam but the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the hadith of Rasulullah. Nehjul Balagha, no one. But sister, the problem is we don't have time to read all that. We don't have time, and that's the reason that we are not elevating our status. That is the reason that we are not climbing up. The reason that we are down here, why? Because we only claim that we are followers of Ahlul Bayt, but we really do not try to follow Ahlul Bayt. This great treasure that we have, this great knowledge that we have, no other has it. None other than the followers of Ahlul Bayt has this great treasure that we have. Just Nehjul Balagha, just the book of Nehjul Balagha, Sahife Sajjadiya. Look, the Kutub Arba. How many of us know the Kutub Arba, the names of Kutub Arba? How many of us know how many ahadith are there in Kutub Arba? This great treasure, that is for us. It's not for someone. This holy book of Quran is for us. The Quran is for us to read. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu. What does that mean? O believers. Who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressing? If I address people here, oh businessmen, so all of you who own business, they'll pay attention. If I ask, oh students, everyone who are student here in the audience, they'll pay attention. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the holy book of Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, what does that mean? Oh believers. And who are the believers? A Sunni scholar has said that wherever in Quran Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, oh believers, the people that Allah is addressing is Ali ibn Abi Talib and the followers of Ali ibn Abi Talib. So when Allah says in Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, should we pay attention or not? No, Allah is going to talk to me. He's calling me. He's addressing me. He's going to talk to me. Let me pay attention. Let me see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to say. Let me see what is going to talk to me. Because He's calling me. He's saying, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. And I am the one, because I have love of Ali ibn Abi Talib in my heart. I am a mu'min. Because the Holy Prophet says, Ya Ali, hubbuka iman wa bughduka kufrun wa nifaq. Oh Ali, your love is iman, nothing else in iman but your love, and there is nothing else, the kufr, but bughd against you. So, the love of Ali is iman. And I'm a mu'min, so Quran is talking to me. Quran is addressing me. This Nehjul Balagha is for me. How many times I have read Nehjul Balagha? A Christian scholar, George Jordan, who wrote a book, Asawdul Adalat al-Insaniya, about Amir al-Mu'mineen, he has said that I studied, he has passed away. He said that I read the whole Nehjul Balagha 200 times. A Lebanese Christian, he's not a Muslim, he's not Shia. He said, I read Nehjul Balagha 200 times. How many of us we have read just 2 times? How many of us we have Nehjul Balagha in our home? How many of us that we ask our children to teach, to read Nehjul Balagha and we teach them Nehjul Balagha? Unfortunately, no. How many of us that we teach our children the Kutub Arba, Usul Kafi? How many of us we know that who was the writer of Usul Kafi, who had gathered all the ahadith? It's beautiful. It's a lot of knowledge that we have. 16,199 ahadith in just one book, Usul Kafi. Sheikh Yaqub Abu Jafar Yaqub Kulani had gathered all the ahadith, 16,199 ahadith in just one Usul Kafi. Man la yahzurul faqih, Sheikh Sudduk had gathered 6,000 ahadith in Man la yahzurul faqih. How many of us that we have just read 6 ahadith from here? Al-Istibsar, Sheikh Tusi had gathered 5,500 ahadith in Al-Istibsar. Tahzeeb al-Ahkam, the 4th book out of those 4 Kutub Arba, Tahzeeb al-Ahkam, 13,500 ahadith in that book. How much knowledge we have. But the problem is we don't have time to read that. The knowledge is there. Nehjul Balagha is there, and that is, alhamdulillah, we can feel proud. Today people are talking that this kalam is not the kalam of Amir al-Mu'mineen, because that is again the books in their hearts. When they look at the peak of eloquence, when they look at the clarity of Nehjul Balagha, when they look at the way Amir al-Mu'mineen had said things, and that is not the kalam of Amir al-Mu'mineen that Sayyid Razi had compiled. That is just part of it. Because Sayyid Razi, as I mentioned, Sayyid Razi was a poet himself, and he had gathered only that material that he thought that it is at the peak of its eloquence, it's more clear, in the words, in the way the words were described, because Kalamul Imam, Imamul Kalam. So Sayyid Razi only gathered that. There's another book, the sayings of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Dar-ul-Hikmah, and all these books are available online. You don't need to buy a book now. It's easy, everything. You Google it, you find it. Everything. Nehjul Balagha is available online. Kutub Arba available online. Mafatihul Jinan available. At least, brothers and sisters, these 4 books, each Shia have to have in their home. Number 1, Quran. Every Shia has to have it. Number 2, Nehjul Balagha. Number 3, Mafatihul Jinan. Number 4, Saif Sajjadiyah. At least these 4 books we have to have in our home. And then not just we have it, try to take some time out. Just read what my Maulana, Nehjul Balagha is for me. All these ahadiths are for me. Ahlul Bayt wanted me to see a better person. Ahlul Bayt wanted me to be a better person, better human being. So everything is for me. The problem is I don't have time for all. Brothers and sisters, we have time for everything. Sometimes we say, Maulana, life is so busy. It's easy for you to deliver 1 hour lecture and then go home and sleep. Look at us, 12-hour job. Maulana, we work 10 hours a day. We work hard hours. And then you say that read Quran. Let me ask you, do you watch TV every day or not? How many favorite shows that you have, you don't miss them? How many favorite talk shows that you have that you don't miss them? How many cooking shows that our sisters don't miss them? We have time for everything. But the problem is we don't have time for Quran. We don't have time to read Nehjul Balagha. So brothers and sisters, let's start practicing this. Let's start taking some time out and going through all that. Believe you me, it's going to purify us. Because that's the miracle, that the kalam of Allah, kalam of Rasulullah, kalam of Ahlul Bayt, they change. They change. It's a meditation. It's a miracle. There's no way that we read Hadith of Amir al-Mu'mineen and I don't change myself. Impossible. I guarantee you. Just read it. It does change. Then we don't need to work on our communities. Then everyone is going to start changing themselves. And that's what we are looking for. Instead of changing others, instead of ruling over others, instead of asking others to be a better person, let me make myself a better person. So if I'm a better person, other people automatically are going to be a better person. It depends on what kind of glasses I'm wearing, what am I looking at. If I want to look people, not good, they're going to seem to me like not good. But if I'm trying to see others in a good way, everything looks nice and clear to me. So the problem, brothers and sisters, is inside ourselves. It's me, it's someone else. So if we start working on ourselves and the way that we are going to change, start taking some time, inshallah, and start reading all these books. There's so much to talk about Nehjul Balagha. The sermons of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the Kalamat-e-Qisar, those 489 Kalamat-e-Qisar at the end, just one liner. Sometimes just one little thing changes. Someone came to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, teach me. The Holy Prophet sent him to one of the companions. He's a new student, teach him the religion. So the next day that student didn't come. The Holy Prophet asked that, what happened to him? They said, no, he's not coming, he's not showing up. So one day the Holy Prophet stopped him and asked him that, you came to me that you want to learn, you came to me that I should teach you. You only attended the class one day and you never came? He said, Ya Rasulullah, I got the whole religion. I learned everything. The Holy Prophet said, in one day, what did you learn? He said, you sent me to one of your companions and he taught me, وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَى وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَى. He only taught me these two verses, that if you do a tiny bit good, you are going to be rewarded for that. If you do a tiny bit wrong, you are going to be punished. That is the whole religion. I got the whole thing. So brothers and sisters, sometimes we don't need all those long lectures. We don't need all those big books to read. Just one line can change us. Just one word can change us. Just one moment that we think, it can change us. So brothers and sisters, let's start thinking about others, that they are better than others. Other brothers and sisters, they are better than us. So that's how the society is going to change. And that's what the message of Ahlul Bayt, and that was the reason that Hussein ibn Ali left Medina, because he said, لِطَلَبِ الْإِصْلَاحِ فِي أُمَّةِ جَدِّي. The reason that I'm leaving Medina is that I want to bring reforms into the ummah of my Jad Rasulullah. That was the reason, brothers and sisters, that Hussein ibn Ali sent his cousin Hazrat Muslim bin Aqil to Kufa. Allahu Akbar. What a sad story of Muslim. Allahu Akbar. When in Makkah, Hussein ibn Ali got all the letters and asked Hazrat Muslim, you are going to be my representative and go to Kufa. Azadaro, I don't take much of your time. Muslim comes to Kufa and starts spreading the message of Hussein ibn Ali, start asking people for bay'at. At one point, 18,000 people pledged allegiance on the hand of Hazrat Muslim, but Abu Abdullah, and Hazrat Muslim wrote a letter to Imam al-Hussein, Aka, it's better now here, you can come to Kufa. But Azadar soon, this Yazid Ma'un found out that that's what's happening. He sent Yazid sent Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad to Kufa, and the things were changed. People were threatened, people were arrested, and at one point when Hazrat Muslim used to lead prayer in the mosque, there were 18,000 people behind him, but one day when he looked behind, there was nobody behind Hazrat Muslim. Everyone had left him alone, and Hazrat Muslim in the city of Kufa was by himself. Now there was no one to protect Muslim, there was no one to help Hazrat Muslim, and he was going from one street to the other in the streets of Kufa. Finally, one night when he got tired, he just sat down at one door. There was a lady, a Mu'mina lady. She came out from the house. She saw someone sitting at the door, and she asked like, "Oh, Abdullah, who you are? The situation in Kufa is not good. You have to leave. Don't sit at my door. Who you are?" Hazrat Muslim said that, "Oh Mu'mina, I'm thirsty. Can I get a glass of water? Can you give me something to drink?" That Mu'mina, she went inside. She got a cup of water, gave it to Muslim. Hazrat Muslim drank that water. She went inside. She was waiting for her son. Her son had gone to work, and she was waiting for him. After some time, she comes outside. Muslim was still sitting over there at the door. His back was by the wall. The Mu'mina looked at him and said, "Oh Abdullah, you asked for water, I gave it to you. Now why don't you leave? Why are you still sitting here?" Hazrat Muslim said that, "Where can I go? I have no place to go." She said, "Who you are? Are you a stranger here?" Hazrat Muslim said, "No, Husayn ibn Ali sent me here in Kufa, and now everyone is enemy." She was a Mu'mina. She said, "Are you Muslim?" Hazrat Muslim said, "Ana ibn Aqil." "Yes, I am the son of Aqil. I'm the cousin of Husayn ibn Ali. I'm a nephew of Ali ibn Abi Talib." She said, "Come inside, Muslim." She got Muslim inside. She gave him food. Muslim never eaten anything. But Hazrat Muslim asked her, "Can you give me a musalla? Can you give me some water so I can do wudu? I want to pray." Hazrat Muslim started praying. At night, that lady's son comes back, and he finds out that there is someone in the house. He asks his mother, Tawa, that who is in our house. Finally, she tells that son that Muslim ibn Aqil is in our house. He goes to Ibn Ziyad, and he goes and tells Ibn Ziyad that Muslim that you are looking for is in our house. Ibn Ziyad sends 300 people to arrest Muslim. Azadaru, soon this army come near the house of that Mu'mina. Hazrat Muslim finds out. Hazrat Muslim gets ready, picks up his sword. That Mu'mina comes out. She said, "Muslim, you go inside, you stay inside. I'm going to see, I'm going to protect you." But Muslim said, "No, Ta'a, I don't want this army to get into your house. I don't want this army to enter into your house and disrespect your house. I'm going outside and I'll fight. I'll say, Muslim, how much you cared for that Mu'mina, that you didn't want army to get enter into house. Oh Muslim, if you would have been there on Sham-e-Ghariba, oh, the army of Yazid entered into tent. Sakina was there, no one was there to protect her." Azadaro, finally Muslim was arrested. Muslim was taken to the court of Ibn Ziyad. Someone said, "Say salam to Ibn Ziyad." Muslim said, "No. Amiri Hussain, wa ni'mal Amir. My Mawla is Hussain ibn Ali. I cannot say salam to no one else." Azadaro ajrukum Allah. Then Muslim was taken up on the roof. Muslim asked, "Give me some time so I can pray 2 rakat prayer." Muslim was given time. Hazrat Muslim on the roof of Dar-ul-Hikmah offered 2 rakat prayer. And after 2 rakat prayer, brother and sister, like you recite Ziyarah, you face towards Karbala. After you complete your prayer, you say, "Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdillah." Azararo Muslim completed the prayer, put his face towards Karbala, on the way of Karbala.
Sayyid al-Shuhada was coming from Mecca. Muslims said, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Azadaru bin took their salah, came to Hussein ibn Ali. My Mawla was sitting on the chair. Soon Muslim salah came to Hazrat Aka Hussein ibn Ali. My Aka stood up, said, Alayka salam ya akhi Muslim. Hazrat Abdul Fazl al-Abbas was standing there. Azadaru Hazrat Abbas asked Imam al-Hussein, Aka, who said salam to you? Who are you replying to? Imam al-Hussein said, Abbas, this is the time for Muslim. He is going to be murdered. Muslim said salam. Hazrat Abbas said, Aka, can I see my brother Muslim? Imam al-Hussein said, Abbas, look in between my two fingers. Hazrat Abbas looked and what did he see? Hazrat Muslim was sitting like a Namazi sits in the form of the shahud. And there was a zalim with a sword trying to take the neck of Hazrat Muslim. Hazrat Abbas said, Ya Mawla, give me permission to go to Kuba. Let me go help my brother Muslim. Because when his head is going to come down, I'll receive the head of Muslim. Aka Hussain said, Abbas, you only looked at the roof. Why don't you look down there? Hazrat Abbas looked down there. There was a lady dressed in black, a baby Fatima. She was saying, Muslim, Fatima came from Jannatul Baqi to receive your head. You are soldier of my son Hussein. Allah la'natullah ala al-qawm az-zalimin wa saya'lamu alladhina zalamu ayyamun qalbin qalbun. Matme Hussein,
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein.